It's a strange place, to be perfectly honest. This liminal space, this threshold, this launching point. It's in between. It's the already and the not yet. We can see our past, but it's fading. Kind of like the details of a dream that go fuzzy as you try to recount them. We can see our goals out in front of us, but they're still on the horizon, just out of reach. We're in the no man's land, in between two worlds. We've been dreaming for years of retiring early and setting out for a life of overland adventure travel. We want to see it all, but not on a schedule. No, we want to move at a snail's pace, exploring the land thoroughly, meeting all kinds of people, taking in the beauty, and telling the stories. We know that we love learning and culture and music and mountains and canyons and rivers and traditions and languages and street food. As a couple married for nearly 30 years now, we're finally on the same page together, and we both want to move forward with this dream. So here we are. We're 52 and 54 years old, and we've left our jobs. Does that mean we're retired? Sorta. We bought ourselves a cake a few weeks ago and had them put on it, "Happy Retirement, Andy and Sherry." There was no one to throw us a party, though, so we took the cake down to the riverbank and shared it with total strangers. In our hearts, we're free, but somehow it doesn't entirely play out like freedom just yet. We're still busy, but with our own schedule. We still set our alarm clocks and work out before breakfast, and we attend meetings, but meetings that we ourselves called. May 15th, 2023. That's the day we hope to hit the road. It's a Monday. Start of a new week. The start of a new life. May of 2023 has been our hopeful departure date for quite a while now, but we'd planned to head north when we first pulled out of our driveway. Our plan was that the first leg of our journey was to drive up through Canada to the end of the road in Alaska to the northernmost point of the Pan American Highway. But now, we're thinking we're going to take a quick little detour first. Back in July of this year, 2022, we went to Overland Expo Pacific Northwest in Central Oregon. We'd hoped to be there with our truck Walter, but Walter was in pieces and really not drivable. So we took our little Honda and we tent camped instead. So here we go, we're heading off to Overland Expo in our little Honda Fit. It was less than ideal for sure, for a variety of reasons. So we want to go again, mostly for the networking and connections once we actually have our travel rig fully put together. So the next Overland exposition that would be remotely feasible for us would be the one coming up in Flagstaff, Arizona in May of 2023. So, our new plan, on our way from our home in Montana up to Alaska, we'll just swing through Arizona. And yes, we understand geography. We used to travel the United States for a living, remember? We also understand detours, though. They're often the source of the best stories. Like the time we tried to avoid some road construction and we took a wrong turn and ended up driving all the way through Monument Valley, arguably some of the most epic scenery in the entire United States. So, instead of heading north on May 15th, we hope to head south, and then turn north to explore Canada and Alaska until the weather starts to turn, likely sometime in September. And that'll be our shakedown tour. We'll be able to return to Montana after our trip north and spend hopefully 1 or 2 more months back on our property, with access to the shop to make some final adjustments and changes before finally turning over the property completely to the new owners. After a few months back in Montana and all of our final farewells here, we will hopefully pull out of our driveway for the last time, and we won't look back, only forward into our future. We'll be finished with the American dream, finished with living to acquire things, building up our little kingdom. We'll be finished with the temptation to keep up with the Joneses. The Joneses won't be able to keep up with us. The life that we have always known will be behind us. It will be interesting to look back on this video someday and to see what actually happened. Such a bold prediction, right? October 2023, and we'll set out once and for all on this grand adventure that we're anticipating for the next chapter of our life together. We have no end date in mind, no end game whatsoever, no plans of any kind except to wander, basically south, towards Patagonia, where the road ends at the southernmost tip of the American continents, but with many, many amazing detours along the way.
It's so pretty.
We sure do love a good detour. This journey might take us 3 or 4 years. It might take 20. We'll go until we want to be done. Maybe we'll want to come back to the States someday. We don't really see that happening anytime soon, but I suppose it could. Maybe we will weary of life on the road and decide to settle down in a little community that we've discovered along our route somewhere. Maybe we'll head overseas to another continent and wander some more. It's hard to say. We will take it as it comes and hold it all loosely. And we're not afraid. But right now we're still in a holding pattern. The rig is not yet finished. Our non-essential belongings have not all found new homes. The house is not yet sold. We don't yet have all of our financial affairs in order. We're not ready yet. But clearly, the adventure has already begun. We're in the already and also the not yet. It's a strange place, to be perfectly honest. Some days we love it, and some days we're frustrated. But we will hold this time loosely as well, and we'll take it as it comes. For now, we'll stay busy and focused on the many steps we need to take in order to arrive at our departure date. May 15th, 2023. It's not the finish line that we can see up in the distance. It's the starting line.